Hey everyone, welcome to Rinkside Olympic season. For episode 3, we are so happy to have you with us. Whether you've been with us here for all 3 episodes or you're joining us for the first time, welcome in. I'm Nick McCarvel. This is your weekly digest of all things figure skating as we're in the midst of the Grand Prix series. We'll break all of that down for you in this episode as it's all leading up to the Winter Olympics in February in Italy. Now, we also bring you exclusive interviews on this show every week. We've had Ilia Malinin and Alisa Liu. This week, you've got the reigning U.S. pairs champions and Alisa Efimova and Misha Mitrofanov. They're joining us from Boston, and they've got a special surprise that's later in the episode. Now, this past weekend was Skate Canada International, and we're going to start with my top 3 moments. There were a lot of them to choose from, but this one, it is number 1 because that is the biggest free skate score of all time. Ilia Malinin, 228.97 for a 333 total, just off of Nathan Chen's world record. He wins in Canada. So does this team, the 2024 world champions from Canada, Deanna Dudek and Maxime Deschamps. Look at the backflip. Man, they soared this weekend, a 3rd straight win in Canada. How about a first ever win on the Grand Prix for Mone Chiba? Look what it means to the 20-year-old. She won a medal at the World Championships last year, and for the first time in her career, she claims a gold medal at a Grand Prix event. Amazing emotions. What is the Grand Prix, you say? Well, it is the 6 biggest events in figure skating, all leading to the Grand Prix final. Skaters will skate in 2 events. They're trying to earn points to get to the final next month in Nagoya, Japan. We just had Skate Canada. This coming weekend, it is NHK Trophy. You can watch that on Peacock and NBC. Now, these skaters, they're going for points, they're going for medals, they're also going for money. Look at that. At the Grand Prix, the top team or skater will earn $18,000. And then at the Grand Prix final, $25,000 for the gold medalist. Pretty awesome for the skaters. Now, that's the Grand Prix. Don't worry. We've got much more from Skate Canada this episode. But this past week, I think you guys probably noticed, 100 days out from Milano Cortina 2026. And in New York City, it was a celebration for Team USA. They had the pre-Winter Olympic Summit for the US OPC. And while there were top figure skating stars in attendance, there was also this guy. Check it out. Axel, I heard you had the best time hanging out with champion skaters like Maddie Chuck, Evan Bates, Amber Glenn, Alisa Liu, and Jason Brown at 100 Days Out. Is that right? Yes? The skaters had a great time. This is some behind the scenes coverage of a few days in New York. Amber Glenn having a great time. Alisa Liu was there. Jason Brown, Maddie Chuck, and Evan Bates. They were on the Today Show. They did interviews with outlets like CBS News and The Athletic. They were so busy, and it was so awesome to see them there in New York City as we head into, we're double digits away now, you guys, from the Winter Olympics. These are your reigning world champions. 4 of them. You've got an ice dance duo in Maddie Chuck and Evan Bates, Alisa Liu and Ilia Malinin in singles. They're all reigning champs heading into the Olympics. Now, we've been breaking down each week for you how to understand skater, and this week on your Skating 1, it's all about the scores.
Welcome back to another episode of Skating 101. To this point, we've covered the basics and the jumps. In week 1, we touched a little on the scoring of programs, so let's dive a little deeper into that. This is the kiss and cry, where skaters receive their scores and where some of the greatest reactions are born. But how do we get to those everlasting moments? Skaters are judged on 2 different parts of a program, the technical score and the program component score. Today, let's focus on the technical score. Every required element of the short program, free skate, rhythm dance, and free dance is assigned a base value. base values of all recognized elements are published annually by the ISU in the Scale of Value chart. The base value of the elements depends on the number of rotations for jumps or the assigned level of difficulty for elements like spins, steps, lifts, twizzles, throws, and more. Next is the grade of execution. Simply put, it's how well the element is executed. During a performance, the technical panel identifies an element and its grade of execution on a 10-point scale, ranging from 5 to -5. The final grade of execution is the average of all 9 scoring judges' marks. The final score of the element is a combination of the base score and the grade of execution score. And that's all for Skating 101 this week. Next week, we'll dive into how the component score and final score of the entire program is achieved. See you next week.
Okay, let's get into some of the action from this past weekend skate national, and we're going to start with the women, where I mentioned earlier Mone Chiba wins her first ever Grand Prix gold medal. She was the bronze medalist at the World Championships last year, and she goes golden with a 2:17.23. Isabeau Levito, and another world medalist, she claims the silver medal with a 2:09.77. Ami Nakai, 17 from Japan. The bronze medal for her, maybe we're going to see her at the Grand Prix final. A really strong weekend too for Brady Tennell in 4th. And how about Sarah Everhart, the other American in action? She finished in 7th place. Let's get into some of the highlights, and we've got to check out Mone Chiba, 20 years young, skating to Donna Summer here in the short program. This program choreographed by Caitlin Weaver, coming off that bronze medal at the World Championships last year. Mone said that performance for a lot of confidence, and she tapped into that in the free skate. This is after Isabeau Levito skated really strong in her program as the penultimate skater. It was up to Mone Chiba to deliver, and guess what she did? Look at the triple Lutz, Axel. That was beautiful. This is the Romeo and Juliet program that Mone Chiba says she wants it to feel like a work of art out there on the ice. And you can see that felt just as much for the Japanese champions here with Mia Hamada, her coach, as the score comes through and confirms her first ever Grand Prix title. I mentioned that 2025 World Bronze Medal. You're next going to see her at Finlandia Trophy. That means that she's got a shot at the Grand Prix final later this season. Let's get into Isabeau Levito and her performances this weekend. The American was dealing with a foot injury last year. She said she's been so hungry to get out there on the Grand Prix. This is the short program where she's skating to a Sophia Loren medley. I see some Sophia Loren. I see a lot of Sophia Loren there. For Isabeau, she says she loves getting into these cinematic characters. How about in the free skate for the American? This is the Cinema Paradiso soundtrack, a very beautiful piece of art. Isabeau, a lot of emoting out there as she goes. She's always been a strong jumper, has Levito, as you can see here. The triple flip and then the double axel. This is the spin sequence to finish. Now she's got an outside shot at the Grand Prix final, 4th at the Grand Prix de France, 2nd at Saskatoon. The fist pump, that's in part because she knows that she's part of the conversation to make the U.S. Olympic team as well. The world silver medalist in 2024 is a former U.S. champion, and we're going to see if she can slip into the Grand Prix final. Another skater on the edge of the Grand Prix final is the 17-year-old Ami Nakai, champion at Grand Prix de France. She claims the bronze medal here. Let's check out some of the action, including the triple axel. That helped her to the title at Grand Prix de France, but this weekend just wasn't really there for Ami Nakai. You can see her there. She falls in the short program, and then you're going to see later in the free skate, she actually doubled that element, but she said the mental toughness is what has really helped her at 17. If she falls, if she doubles her triple axel as she does here, this is the free skate, she shakes it off and she moves forward. Her hero is Mao Asada, the former Olympic medalist. And you can see some of Mao's skating in Ami Nakai, who's going to wait and see, guys. She's 4th place and 3rd place, and maybe, just maybe, with 26 points after those 2 Grand Prix, she's going to be at the Grand Prix final. Now, this next week at NHK Trophy, those are your standings for the Grand Prix final. Who's going to look to earn more points? Kaori Sakamoto will be in action. Luna Hendricks, we haven't seen her on the Grand Prix yet. Sarah Everhart is going right to from Skate Canada to NHK Trophy, and Elise Lynn Gracie will also be in action. That's what's to watch at NHK Trophy. Now, one character we've been watching on the US figure skating social media is Axel, who celebrated 100 days out from Milano Cortina in New York. Axel, take it away.
I'm back, but this time I'm in New York to celebrate 100 days out for the Olympics. Did you miss me? Be honest, you did. Channeling my main character energy by doing some shopping, some sightseeing, pretending like I'm in an episode of Gossip Girl. But alas, duty calls, so I headed over to the Team USA Media Summit to celebrate 100 days out from the Olympics. And guys, this place was massive. There were so many star athletes there, it was crazy. Must have been some sort of mix-up because they forgot to add me into this. Don't worry, I fixed it. Took some notes on other athletes and how they answer media questions because I never got formal media training. Oops, haha. Then came the photo and video shoots where we were absolutely serving. Look at Jason, serving. Honestly, I think Tyra Banks would be proud of us. If you're looking for models, you know where to find us. Then came the press conference, answered some questions, smiled politely, resisted the urge to say no comment so everyone would be proud of me, hit the Team USA gift shop because how else will anybody know that I was there? Plus, I had to get my mom something. Jason and I hopped on this moped just to give you guys a little sneak peek of how I'll be arriving at the venue if I make the Olympics. For real, I think I'm growing on them. Dare I say, besties. And that's a wrap for Media Day. Only 100 days out till Milan. I mean, who's counting? Me. I'm counting.
The adventures of Axel, you never know where you're going to see him next, and stay tuned to find out. Now, from one Axel to another, how about the quad god this weekend? Let's check out the men's results. Now, we've already told you Ilia Malinin was in record-setting form. He runs away with it. How about that margin of victory for Ilia, winning by some 75 points? The 2-time world champion sets himself into the Grand Prix final. He beats Alexander Selevko, who actually made history, first Estonian man to win a Grand Prix medal. And Cal Mira with a big bounce back after a 10th place finish at the Grand Prix de France. He is able to grab the bronze medal. Now, we've talked a little bit about that free skate from Ilia. We're going to see it in a second, but it has gone viral across social media. Scream it out in all caps. That 2:28.97 breaks his own world record from the World Championships in 2024. Of course, he had to add in the backflip as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at the short program for Ilia. Coming in, he said he was at 85% after the Grand Prix de France. Opens with a nice quad flip there, and the backflip. Why not? He opened up a 12-point lead, wowing the crowd, almost toying with them at times in Saskatoon, and into the free skate where he was up to his usuals. Again, as the quad god, throwing in half a dozen quadruple jumps, including this, the quad flip. He said he went into autopilot about midway through this record-setting performance. There's the quad Lutz, and then this was the jump that he tripled a couple weeks ago at the Grand Prix de France. No problem. The quad loop, look at that, the fist pump from Ilia after that jump. Here's the combination, the toe loop into the triple, another backflip, why not? Ilia Malinin, record-setting. How about 138 points just from the technical mark in his free skate for that 2:28? The 2-time world champion. How about 12 consecutive international wins as he books his place in the Grand Prix final? That's Ilia Malinin. Let's go to the man that he beat, Alexander Selevko, who had a history-making weekend himself. This is the short program. We're going to open with the quad toe loop here from the Estonian. He is the first Estonian man to win a medal in the Grand Prix. Feeling good after the short program, and he continued those vibes into the free skate. He is in a race to make the Olympic team for Estonia. They only have one spot. Here's the toe loop. Fights on that landing. Nice, catches the edge there. And then the triple axel. Selevko in a three-man race for that one spot. Look at the emotion from him. His brother Mihail is also trying to make the Estonian Olympic team. How about Alexander winning the silver medal at Europeans a couple years ago? That was history. He makes more history, and he hopefully for himself gets closer to that Olympic dream as well. Another man fighting for an Olympic spot is this gentleman, Kao Mira, who is part of a Japanese contingent. Man, the Japanese are so strong in both women's and men's singles. Let's get into Kao's highlights here in the short program. He had to bounce back from a really disappointing Grand Prix de France where he was last place in the free skate. He actually said it felt like a nightmare, and he switched after Grand Prix de France. He went back to his free skate. This routine was what he used last season, and he said it was like the first time in about a year he said that he felt like he skated a strong free skate. You can see some of the highlights here. The triple axel, nice stuff there. The combo saves the landing there. Kao, he's good friends with Ilia Malinin, and he joins him on the podium there. Malinin, that ticket is punched for the Grand Prix final. 30 points. He's locked and loaded. You can see the other guys, they're trying to get there as well. How are they going to get there? Well, we go to next weekend, this weekend, NHK Trophy. Now, a couple of Malinin's main rivals in Yuma Kageyama and Shun Sato will be in action. The Americans will be represented by Jimmy Ma and Andrew Torgashev. That's NHK Trophy. You can watch all of that action on Peacock and NBC. Well, it's episode 3 of Rinkside, and we're doing something we've never done here before. 3 interview subjects in one. Pleased to be joined by Jimmy Ma, Alisa Efimova, and Misha Mitrofanov, our Boston bureau, the trio. You guys actually live together, and Jimmy, I want to start with you. Who is the messiest of the 3?
I'm the messiest. It's hard, definitely.
Come on.
No.
I don't believe that. Guys, thanks for joining us. Obviously, we're into Misha, the Grand Prix series. The 3 of you are going to be headed towards NHK Trophy tomorrow. But what are the vibes in Boston among this household? How are you guys feeling about the Grand Prix?
Good. Sorry, Pumpkin is calling at the door. He wants treats.
The cat.
No, things are good. We're right now packing because we're leaving tomorrow for Japan. It has gone colder outside, so we're definitely getting warm gear on. We know it's going to be warmer in Japan, which will be great. Finland, I think, will be a little bit colder, right? Yeah. So we're going to be staying in Finland for the 2 weeks in between, so that's exciting for us. Honestly, things are calm. We've all been training hard. What's great is that because we all live together, we all can push each other. So when one's having a good day, we, support them. One's having a bad day, we're able to help push them, be like, hey, let's get through this training day. And so that's what makes it fun, being all together and just having a good time. Honestly, a lot of laughs.
Yeah, we can see some of, actually, we'll show you. I know you guys are living it every day, but Alisa, how do you keep these 2 guys in line? What is the atmosphere for you both at the rink and at home?
At the rink.
Come on.
Tamesy took that video.
I love that.
Yeah, at the rink, we have a lot of space, so it's a little bit easier, less energy consuming. At home, sometimes keeping everything in check takes some energy, but no, definitely we're laughing a lot. And as you can see in the videos, we just do our silly stuff, which keeps us going every day. I think it's always a good recharge, like a positive kick into every day. So I love living with Misha. I love living with Jimmy.
And Pumpkin the cat. We haven't seen Pumpkin yet, but maybe Pumpkin will make a cameo. Actually, Jimmy, I want to show you this video. Was this a food challenge of sorts? Guys, let's roll this video for Jimmy. Jimmy, walk us through this here.
I'm scared. Oh Lord, what were we eating?
That was when we went to go get oysters.
Oh shit.
That's Gina.
That's Gina
Yeah.
and Jin. Yeah.
Wow.
We were getting oysters with we were getting oysters and
That was,
I forgot what we were eating, but it was I feel like it was still alive.
yeah, it was like squid or something maybe.
Yeah, I forgot what it was, but it was like it's something that we've never tried before, and they were like, "You got to try that," and I genuinely I forgot what that was.
Okay, and will you both at least were brave enough to try it. Speaking of food, who's the chef in the house? What do the meals look like for you guys? Do you share responsibility, or how does that work in the house?
I think Jimmy is the most professional cook. So whenever Jimmy cooks, it's a whole project. Everything is gonna be like tip top in the real way as it should be. If it's bolognese, it's like the top tier bolognese with all the stages, with all the ingredients. So I think definitely Jimmy is the chef of the household.
Alisa's the healthy one, and Misha's like, you know what?
I love grilling.
Yeah, he's like, as long as I have meat and a carb and a veggie, I'm okay. Yeah. So sometimes it's like I like that, but sometimes I also like my way.
Exquisite.
Yeah. It's
Exquisite.
nothing fancy.
It's out, Jimmy. Can I be invited at some point? That sounds amazing.
Absolutely. Come through for Thanksgiving, man. We're gonna have
Okay.
turkey, prime
Okay,
rib, mashed potatoes. We're gonna have cream spinach. We're gonna have everything, and also maybe some like
That
maybe
sounds
some
amazing.
Chinese food. I want to steam a fish. I've never steamed a fish before. I want to steam
Yeah,
a
let's
fish.
try it. Why not?
And what's amazing with because Jimmy is such a professional cook, we have all the spices.
Yes, that does help.
So if you're cooking anything, you know you have everything
And all
for
the
sure,
tools. And all the tools.
and all the tools.
Except when Nina moved in, that was when we got a stand mixer, and I've never had a stand mixer. So now we could
Definitely
ground
not.
our own meat. You know that?
Okay, well, Jimmy, maybe a cooking show is in your future. When you guys travel tomorrow together to Japan, what's the vibe? Like, or is everyone like headphones on, you're not talking to each other, or how do the three of you, I know there's more on the trip over there, but how are you all traveling together?
So
Uh-oh.
Jimmy's
Oh,
friend,
of course.
let
Are you
lent
sharing
us
that?
This. Yeah, so we're going to be sharing that. Jimmy has a game. I have a game that I like to play. We usually, we're on headphones, but we'll talk to each other from time to time, especially during the travel time. It'll be nice. Alisa cannot sit for more than an hour. She always has to get up and walk around. So like it's good
Nice.
to stretch out. And so that's when we have a time to, kind of like chat, see how we're doing, I'm not a big fan of airplane food at all. I just can't eat it. So I'll either offer it to Alisa, Jimmy, or Alexei, and I'll just kind of like snack on like maybe the bread or something like that.
All right, well, Jimmy, maybe you could be in charge of the meals tomorrow on the flight. The three of you, best of luck at NHK Trophy. And guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, great to hang out with Jimmy, Alisa, and Misha. We wish them the best of luck at NHK Trophy. Let's get to know Alisa and Misha just a little bit more. They are the reigning U.S. champions in pairs, and we caught up with them in this segment called Firsts.
First thing you do when you get to the rink.
Warm up.
Yawn.
First job.
Besides coaching? Is there like a dream job that we could say, like outside of figure skating? Oh, I'd work in Formula One then for sure, 100%. Yeah, on the paddock or something like that.
Dream job, doctor.
First thing you tell yourself on a hard training day.
First of all, I try to quiet my thoughts and really trust that everything I do in that difficult situation, and as long as I know I am doing my best in the very exact moment, it all goes into that piggy bank anyway. It's all still worth it. Just giving up won't help. I still have to put the things into the piggy bank.
I really like to focus on my breathing then, especially when it gets very difficult. That's why I've seen to help me, especially, is I focus on my breathing, and that calms everything down, how Alisa is saying, and just to keep on trying to push.
First competition memory.
We had these little school competitions back in our club. We just performed, I think, in a competition environment, and everyone got a medal. I think that was the very, very first one.
It was a competition where it was like girls and boys would compete against each other. I think it was just, it was like a really friendly, fun competition. I remember I got I can't remember, maybe 5th or 6th or something like that. But I remember looking whenever they gave the girl, she won the gold medal. I was looking up and I was like, oh, can I have that? And they go, no. So I remember that.
Great to get to know Alisa and Misha just a little bit more. And while we're on the pairs theme, let's check out the pairs event at Skate Canada International, where it was Deanna Stellato-Dudek and Maxime Deschamps who was able to take the crown for a 3rd year running. The 2024 World Champions coming back in the free skate to beat the Germans, Minerva Fabian Hasse and Nikita Volodin. You can see the Americans, Ellie Kam and Danny O'Shea, able to grab the bronze medal. I'll tell you more about that in just a second. Let's get into Deanna and Max's highlights. We're going to start with the short program. And remember at Grand Prix de France when they bailed out of their triple twist? That's something you rarely see in pairs. Well, this was the next one they did right here in the short program, and look at it. Huge elements there. Deanna said after there was no hesitation. And how about no hesitation for the 42-year-old? Defying age, defying with the backflip. Now they were 4 points down to Hasse and Volodin after the short program, but where the Canadians really attacked was here in the free skate. The home crowd was on their side, and they took it element by element, starting with another big triple twist there, this Vicente Amigo free skate, and then watch this side-by-side combination, the triple into not one, but 2. Yes, double the fun. Now, really the only error for them this program, they had an issue on a lift, and then here they double the sow cows, but otherwise this was a strong program, an emotional program, and look at the look on Deanna's face. You know that's big. When Deanna's reacting, that means that they're very happy. The 2024 World Champs, a 3rd Skate Canada in a row. That qualifies them for the Grand Prix final. They're going to head to Warsaw in a couple weeks for a challenger event. They just want to compete more, get out every little issue. There was no issue in the free skate for Danny O'Shea and his partner, Ellie Kam. We're going to jump right into it. They were in 4th place after the short program, the American duo. They're former champions in the US in 2024, and they were 7th at the World Championships last year. And remember, Danny competed at Worlds with a broken foot in Boston, had to have surgery. He missed 3 months. Ellie, she missed a month due to concussion protocol this summer. That means this team barely had any training time. It didn't matter in Saskatoon. This was a career best 133.63 as Ellie and Danny land on the podium. A bronze medal for the Americans. They're former champions in the US. They're factoring themselves. There's only 2 spots for the US team at the Olympics. They're in that race. Let's go ahead and update you on the race to Nagoya and the Grand Prix final. Now Maxime, and Deanna, the Canadians, punched their ticket, guys. Next month, they will head to the Grand Prix final, 28 points, 15 for first place this week, 13 for second place in France. And you can see the other teams, they've got to compete again. We will keep you posted throughout the Grand Prix. And hey, the next stop is, as we've said, NHK Trophy. Here's some of the top pairs that are going to be competing, including Alisa and Misha, Emily Chan and Spencer Howe. How are they going to do? We're going to find out. And those are two of the top teams in the world, Sarah Conti and Nicola Machi, and Wenjing Sui and Han Tsang. Those are the Olympic champions in 2022. They're all to factor in at the pairs at NHK Trophy. So a title for the Canadian pair of Deanna Stellato-Dudek and Maxime Deschamps in pairs. What about in the ice dance? It was another Canadian team, the tone Piper Gillis and Paul Poirier, winning their 6th Skate Canada in a row. But look at how close it was. Alison Salias, Amber Levicius, they won the free dance and only were 2 points behind Piper and Paul in the overall standings. The Lithuanians, how about bronze medal for Lajoie and Laga, the other Canadians? 4th place finish for Christina Carrera and Anthony Ponomarenko. Get into some of the highlights for Piper and Paul. They are always fan favorites. This team has been together for 15 years. They've never done Supermodel, the RuPaul program here in the rhythm dance. Piper said they went bold, choosing white out there for their costumes. They took a 5-point lead after the rhythm dance, really bringing in the crowd in Saskatchewan. Their artistry here. Obviously, this 90s theme in the rhythm dance, a lot of teams having fun with it. Piper and Paul, always a good amount of fun. Now in the free dance, this is where they struggled at times. This is their Vincent program. They brought it back from a few years ago. Piper said it was an emotional process to retool this program. Here's where things went really awry. Barely gets her blades up on his thigh there. Actually a level 1 on that curve lift. That cost them about 5 points. And then here, Piper in the second set of twizzles, just gonna lose her balance a little bit. That dropped them a level 2. Those points add up, guys. That's why Reed and Amber Levicius were able to win this free dance. It was the first time that we've seen Gillis and Poirier this entire season. They hadn't competed at any of the challengers. A little muted celebration there for the reigning Canadian champions. They're the reigning world silver medalists. They've got 4 world medals to their name. Piper and Paul said that this is just another step. Their goal is the Olympics. We're going to next see them at Finlandia Trophy in a couple of weeks. Let's check in on the Americans, Carrera and Ponomarenko. They were in 3rd place after the rhythm dance. We check in on the free dance where they had a couple of bobbles, little mishaps here for this team in their Notre Dame de Paris soundtrack for the free dance. They switched to this program after Champs Camp. They had some critiques there in August, so still maybe working out some of the kinks for the 3-time US medalists. They were 2025 silver medalists for the US Championships. You can see their 5th place at the World Championships last year. They finished here in 4th, but don't worry, you're gonna see them at Skate America. Let's check in on that race to Nagoya for the Grand Prix final, where it was Piper and Paul. They registered those 15 points. Look at Reed and Amber Levicius. They've got 24. That means they're in the conversation. The ticket is not punched to Nagoya, but they certainly could make it there. Now, who's going to be competing in the ice dance this weekend in NHK Trophy? Guys, it's 2025, and yes, that's Maya Shibutani and Alex Shibutani competing on the Grand Prix. The former Olympic medalists are making their return. That's a tough field. Look at it in NHK Trophy. Lila Fear and Lewis Gibson are in action, as are Charlene Guinard and Marco Fabri, the Italians. You can watch all of it, you guessed it, on Peacock and NBC. All right, we're coming to a close here on this episode of Rinkside Olympic season, but wait, we always have to hear from you on US Figure Skating social media. Here is this week's You Be the Judge. I love this one, you guys. Meme this. How about this moment for Ellie Cam and Danny O'Shea? Drew Meekins getting in on the action. All right, guys, come on, meme this. What do you got? Here we go. First up, Autumn B. Skate says, when my friend keeps adding to the joke, but I'm clearly on my last breath. Amazing. Autumn, I love it. Next up, Caitlin on Ice. When you thought you failed your test, but actually you guessed right on every question, Caitlin, I love that energy. It's very good. All right, last but not least, Marlo Avalon says, when you fall on all your jumps during the warm-up, but skate a clean program in comp, Marlo, dreams can come true sometimes. Guys, that is amazing. Don't worry. You can weigh in yourself next time on You Be the Judge. Just make sure you're following US Figure Skating across their social medias. Now, we've checked in a couple times on Axel, who was in New York City for the 100-day countdown to Milano Cortina. Guess who else was there? Jason Brown and Alyssa Liu. Take it away, guys.
It was fun. Okay. That was beautiful. Hey, it's the U.S. figure skating team? Or U.S. figure skating? How are you? It's preferred to announce yourself. Oh my god. Hey, we're U.S. figure skating, and we are so amped up for the 100 days out. We are currently at the Team USA Swiss Show. You're trusted. Hey, we're U.S. figure skating, and we are at the Team USA Chalet, and we are amped up. It is 100 days out to the Winter Olympics. Go Team USA! Woo-woo!
Good stuff. Third time's the charm from Jason Brown with Alyssa there, and of course Madison Chalk and Evan Bates. Lovely to see them having a really good time. We're going to have a good time this weekend at NHK Trophy. You might be staying up late, getting up early. We've mentioned to you the ShibSibs. They're back in the ice dance event. Jimmy Ma, who we heard from in this episode, he's going to be there as well. What about Efimova and Mitrofanov, the reigning U.S. pairs champion, Alisa and Misha? We're going to see them in action. And how about some of the top skaters in the world? Kaori Sakamoto, Luna Hendricks, Yuma Kageyama, he's going to be there as well. You can watch all of that on NBC and on Peacock. It's been a joy for us here at Rinkside Olympic season to be with you on episode 3. We're with you every single Monday at noon on the US Figure Skating YouTube. For now, for all of us, I'm Nick McCarvel, and for Axel too, we say farewell, and we'll see you next week.